Hey, all you wrestling fans, today was Money in the Bank. What an exciting event, I gotta say, over in London, England. Holy Toledo's. What do you think about that crowd? I thought they were loud up yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown. They were even louder tonight on Money in the Bank. So anyways, I'm going to give you the results of the Money in the Bank big pay-per-view over on Peacock. So we're going to start off with the first match they actually had in the night, which really started it off really good for that crowd, especially for people actually watching this as well too. We had the men's Money in the Bank match. What can I say about this? This was incredible. I have a gut feeling of the reason why they actually started this match first, because I was kind of wondering, scratching my head, which match would actually happen last. I figured that the bloodline, the Civil War bloodline would actually happen last. And I was thinking about the Finn Balor and Seth Rollins match. Whoever won this match would probably interfere with that match, probably, or maybe somehow get distracted. I'm not going to get there quite yet, but this Money in the Bank, I got to say, every competitor that was in this ring, every wrestler, did an awesome job. I have to say I was rooting for LA Knight. And I could see a good future for him in the near future here, maybe for a future championship, and maybe he might actually win it. But tonight was Damian Priest's night of Judgment Day. and that's the other thing I scratched my head about this as well too. There's so much I want to talk about, but it's between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But before we actually get there, I want to actually move on to our next match, would be the women's tag team belts. And this, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm always thinking ahead. But with the women's tag team, we had Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey coming in as the champions, and they're facing Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It's so good to see this form once again with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They're a great team, I gotta say. And they came on top to win the championship once again. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are the new women's tag team champions. Isn't this cool? As you can see, I'm still reacting from Money in the Bank. I just got, not too long ago, I finished watching the event myself, and it's really exciting. And what happened with this match is really the big surprise is that Shayna Baszler actually backstabbed Ronda Rousey. I did not see that coming. What do you guys think, for people who watched this already? What do you think about your reaction about Shayna actually backstabbing Ronda the way she did? I did not see that coming, and that was the factor in that match, that how Ronda got pinned, and how Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are now the new women's championship. That is pretty amazing. Okay, so moving on up to this next match with Riddle and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship belt. I was really thinking that this would be a good match. The match didn't last that long. I'm actually surprised with that. I thought Riddle will actually have a fighting chance to actually get that chance of winning the belt. But he came up short, and Gunther actually won the title. Who's going to stop this Gunther guy? He's an amazing guy. He's been a champion for almost a full year. It may actually be a year already. Who's going to be the person to actually stop him? I don't see this happening anytime soon. He's going to turn out to be Roman Reigns, but I feel Gunther, he's always on the show defending his belt and stuff like that. I think he is an amazing champion. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Who will be the one to dethrone Gunther, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So anyways, moving on to the next matches. Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. I always wonder what was going to happen with the outside interference. I knew Ripley would actually come out with Dominic, and sure enough, she did interfere a couple of times with this match. But Dominic actually looked really good out there, I gotta say. And I really thought this match was actually, I really thought at one point, Dominic Mysterio would actually win. But that wasn't the case. Once again, he came up short, and Cody Rhodes run the match over him. And the next thing actually to come after this match, believe it or not, after the Dominic Mysterio and Cody Rhodes, after Cody just won his match with them, was the return of John Cena. John Cena in London, really hyping the crowd up, and really hoping that maybe WrestleMania might come to London, England. And maybe in the near future. It's not going to happen next year because they already have a site already for next year as it is. But anyways, that really hyped me up, even to see John Cena there in London. So after the John Cena segment, of course, we had the Women's Money in the Bank competition. I knew this was going to be an interesting match because I did have my site. I even predicted, I thought Zelina Vega would actually win this match. She did, every female wrestler in this match did a really good job. But the one that really came up on top was Sky. And the way that it was actually done, I thought was real creative. In the middle of the match, of course, Becky was actually handcuffed, but she wasn't handcuffed exactly to the rope. Of course, Io and Bayley were trying to tie her up into the ropes with the handcuff, but that didn't happen. But this was the result towards the end of this match, of course, as Io Sky actually had the plan of handcuffing Becky to Bayley. And believe it or not, Io went over Bayley. They retrieved that briefcase up in the air, and she is the new women's champion, which I think is pretty incredible. Thought that was pretty classical of her actually to do that. It was pretty smart how much she used her brain for that. That was real creative, I gotta say. So congratulations to Io Sky. I think that is great. She has now that contract for a future chance at the belt. And which belt will she actually choose? Will she actually choose the belt on Raw or SmackDown? It's depending on who will be the champion. Or maybe if you want to see someone like her facing Rhea Ripley over on SmackDown facing Asuka, there's a good possibility of either one of those champions. She can actually choose any one of them as it is. And after the women's Money in the Bank match, we had Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship belt. I was really looking forward to all these matches, of course, because Finn Balor, you got to realize, had the belt 7 years ago. He had to relinquish it the night after because of the injury that Seth Rollins actually gave to him. And here we are once again in 2023, these two facing each other for that title once again. But there was actually a little thing, if you guys can remember at the beginning of the show, this is the reason why they probably did the men's Money in the Bank first, is to determine who would be that champion. Of course, it was Damian Priest of Judgment Day to become the winner. But he also interfered with this match just as well, too. He really didn't interfere, but he was a distraction to the match, especially to both Seth Rollins and especially Finn Balor just as well, too. They had part of Judgment Day, which makes me wonder, is there going to be a crack in the Judgment Day? What's going to happen with these two? I wonder if one of them are actually going to leave Judgment Day, and what's going to happen to this team of Judgment Day. They've been really good. I think it's been well over a year as it is since they've been a faction. You got to realize Edge, believe it or not, what started it off. And of course, the whole team turned their back on Edge. And the exciting thing too, this as well too, next week on Friday Night SmackDown, he will be on, Edge will be coming back next Friday. That's going to be real exciting. So anyways, the last match of the night was that Civil War Bloodline against the Usos and Roman Reigns and Solo. You knew this was going to be a crazy match and how far it would actually go. I looked down at the watch with this as well too. This match actually lasted a well 35 minutes of this of their match. It was in the beginning. It was a little slow, but it picked up maybe like after 10 minutes. You knew that you have to build things up, and especially with this since this is going to be a Civil War Bloodline, you have to get more involved. See how much of intensity you actually want, and actually with both teams this as well too. How much the Usos actually want it, and how much Roman Reigns and Solo actually want it. And Paul Heyman's still on that side. I thought that something was going to happen tonight. I really thought the Usos might actually do something to Paul Heyman, because you got to remember what they said about Paul Heyman, that he's actually a fraction just as well too in a team. The Usos were actually saying, maybe we can actually forgive Roman if Paul Heyman wasn't part of that side of the team. Special counsel. But this match was actually fun, actually, once we got into it. And wow, it's Roman Reigns. He's now unbeatable. He's unbeatable now. He's not a god or anything. He's not in God force anymore. And the Usos did the impossible by pinning Roman Reigns, believe it or not. It wasn't Solo, it was Roman Reigns. So what's going to happen with this too? Because you notice at the end of this whole match, we see Roman Reigns laying against the ring with his hands over, going, shaking his head. He's probably what's going to happen next. How much longer is he going to be champion? He's had the belt for over 1,000 and something 30 days as it is. I believe that Michael Cole actually said it was like 1,035 days, something like that tonight. But what's going to happen of the Roman Reigns title this as well too? Everything's crumbling down on him, especially. When is Solo going to side over with the Usos is also the big question as well too. They're really dragging this out. We can't wait to see what's going to happen. I bet you all this is really going to come to an end when it gets to SummerSlam. So anyways, I hope all the results helped. The Usos won the Civil War Bloodline, I gotta say. This was an incredible match. If WrestleMania actually comes out to London, maybe in a couple of years or so, maybe 2 or 3 years, something like that, I had to punch my ticket to go out there. I've never been out to London before. For those that actually have gone out to London, what do you guys actually think? Would you actually have to go out there and travel over across the world? So of course, you know, by saying that, I am in the USA, and going over there with the change hour of 8 hours, I wouldn't mind that for doing something like that, going to WrestleMania over there. That would be awesome, I gotta say. So if you ever have gone to a different country for WrestleMania, leave some comments below. I think this is one of the first time. I think this is the reason John Cena actually said that during his segment. And Garrison, believe it or not, was trying to say, "What's doing in Australia?" And that's when the whole fight blew out with that, with the John Cena and Grayson does as well too. So this was really exciting. I gotta say, this was fun. What do you guys actually feel with these matches tonight? Was this show really exciting for you for Money in the Bank 2023 in London, England? I gotta say, this was well deserved, really fun, and I gotta say, this was an amazing night. And I can't wait for this to happen once again, which only happens once a year. So you have to wait until next year, believe it or not. And our next pay-per-view is Fastlane, believe it or not. Then SummerSlam, just around the corner. I think they said within 5 weeks of today, this as well too, for SummerSlam. Can't wait to see what happens with that. So anyways, my name is Ryan. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.